You mark ½ inch downwards from the waistline. Mark ½ inch downwards. ½ inch downwards from the waistline. ½ inch downwards. Now, this ½ inch downwards is going to be coming from the main dress, not from the zipper. From the main dress, not from the zipper. So what you do now, you connect to this point. You connect to your. That is why I do not want to create the seam allowance here, because of these eliminations. So you come here, you mark it to this point, as if you are creating a dart. Then the zipper will take it straight, as if you are creating a dart. What we are trying to do right here is to eliminate the bulge that usually comes out at the back of a dress. We are going to eliminate it. So even if your client have a curvy back, once you do this elimination, it's going to help the zipper go in and not bulge out, or whatever that happens around that waistline that comes out. That is what we are eliminating. So what you do now is to slash it through. You slash it through from this, not from this line. You slash it through from the center line. Now we're slashing from the center line. When you're doing your pattern, please leave some, at least some spaces here, like 1 inch, because we're still going to work on some things here. Then when you do that, now you have here open. What you do now, you pick it up, you pick it this way, and you place it on this line. Are you seeing what I'm doing? You place it on the line that the dart line you have created. Then we close it up. So automatically you have eliminated the bulge that comes out at the waistline from the back. So whoever your client is will not be experiencing that bulge around there. So we have eliminated it. That is it. Here, it has been eliminated. That is step 1 of one of the eliminations. Now, another thing that the zipper elimination. Another elimination you're going to be doing at the middle part. The zipper elimination. We are going to eliminate any excess at the zipper area. So at this waistline again, we come in by ½ inch. Sorry. Here, at this main part, not the zipper, we come in again by ½ inch. You come in here by ½ inch at the waistline. You come in by ½ inch, not from the zipper point, from the original point. You come in by ½ inch. Now from this zipper allowance, so from here you place your 2 from this one that we came in. You now place your 2 inches from here. So now this is 2 inches. This is your new 2 inches. Before then, what would I do? From this ½ inch that you came in, we're going to place our ruler at least above the bust point, above the chest line, almost to the half of the armhole, almost to the half of the armhole. What we'll do now is to place it. You can see the way I placed my ruler, not to the top. If you are dealing with a lycra dress, you can go up to the top if it's lycra. But once you are dealing with normal fabric, you don't go up to the point, at least to the chest line. So now we're going to be marking it this way. Hope you see what I've done. Then you come, you go down close to the hips, but not exactly to the hips. Close to the hips, but not exactly to the hips. At least 2 inches away from the hips. You mark again. So now this is another elimination that has been done around the waistline. So after doing all this, you will not have any bulge in any form. So now you're not going to from here mark your new zipper allowance. From here, this new line, this red line, is that going to be your new zipper allowance. So here now is your new zipper allowance. So now this is the animation you need to do on the pattern. And once you have done this, you are going to have a good flat back. Very perfect flat back. Whoever the client is, as long as it's a dress, you're going to get a lovely flat back. Now, one more thing, we are going to be creating the space for the butt. They call it butt allowance or something. If you don't do this, the butt will not have where to sit. And because of this, it will make your clothes to be jumping. Now, what we will do, you will come to the hip line. You come to the hip line. You mark ½ inch. Now, it depends on the client that you are dealing with. It depends on the clients you are dealing with. If you are dealing with somebody like size 40 hips, you do half. If the person is flat at the back, please just leave it that way. If the person is very flat, leave it that way. But if the person is a bit bulgy at the back, you do ½ inch. If the person is on the larger butt side, you can do 0.75. The max you can do is 1.5. But if it's an extra, because some people are very extra there, you can now measure the butt away from the hips. That will give you the difference. That will give you the what you think you would add there. But usually it is between 0.5, it is between 1 to 1.5. Like, sorry, between, yes, 0 on a fold. This is fold, so we'll have half to 0.75 because it's on a fold. So this is what you do here now. Now, watch what I'll be doing. Because of this animation and because of this bust that we have created here, you come back to the hips line. You come back to the hip, connecting this for the butt up to the hips. You can see now, this blue line is showing you the butt. Then you now come, you just, just understand how you're doing it. Then of course, you come here and you make it a neat curve here. You make a neat curve here. So that is what we have here. You make a neat curve there. So here is for the butt to sit. If you don't do this, your butt will not have where to sit, especially for straight dresses. So this is it. Then down, straight down to the length of the dress. Now this is all for the back. This is all for the back. All for the back. Now what we're going to do, now this is your flap. Remember, by the time you sew your dress, the zipper is going to be stopping here. Then this is for the flap. But if you don't need the flap, depending on what you want to do, if you don't need the flap, you can, depending on what you're making at the back, if you don't need a flap, you close it down at the back. If you need a flap, you leave the flap open. By the time I'll be sewing making the sewing of it, you will understand what we're doing. So now we're going to be cutting the back out. So this is it for the back. This is all you need for the back. Then let's go back to the front and do our last elimination. Like I mentioned earlier, that we'll be needing the elimination at the front. So now remember that I mentioned that half of it, then this is half of it here. Now, if you have checked them, if you have followed my videos on hammer, you understand what I'm about to do here. So here we're going to be coming in by half of an inch because we want to eliminate the bulge around here. Now you go with your French curve. You place your ruler like this. Make sure it is touching this point, and this point. There are 3 points. Please, I advise you check my video on how to do a perfect armhole. Now, this is the 3 points. This point, the beginning point, this point, and this point. Now, you mark. Now you have created your elimination for the armhole. Now we'll cut it out. So this is the front. That is it for the front. Now you're not going to add your seam allowance. Add your seam allowance as much as you can work with. Remember there's a ½ inch here which you're returning. So if you're adding 2 inches for the seam allowance, when you get to the waist, please add 2.5, because by the time it takes the ½ inch, it's going to take ½ inch on both sides. Remember, you already kept only ½ inch for this side. Remember, you're supposed to keep another ½ inch here, which is going to be here. So you're going to be adding 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. Then here, remember to add your seam allowance here. Usually I add 1 inch for my armhole. I usually add 1 inch for my armhole to avoid any issues. And here, remember to add your ½ inch here. Me, I like adding 1 inch for my shoulders. So it depends on what you like working with. Then you add your ½ inch here. Then here is the center fold. You don't need any ½ inch. This is the center fold. It depends on what you are working with also. But this is actually supposed to be a center fold. Then here your ½ inch. Then you come down, you add whatever inch that you desire at the lower parts. Same happens for your back also. You add your seam allowance for your back. Seam allowance for your back. You add your ½ inch here, 1 inch here, 1 inch here as usual. Then whatever you're doing here, remember your dart allowance also. You add your seam allowance here, your seam allowance here. No seam allowance here because it's a fold. Take your no seam allowance here because you already have seam allowance. Then you add your desired seam allowance here. Then you add your, remember your ½ inch extra. So yeah, remember you're going to have 2.5 inches, and that is it. Your armhole, like I add 1 inch. It depends on what you want to work with, 1 inch or ½ inch. You add it here. So this is all you need to know about pattern to draft a dress. So whatever dress, all the dress you see on Instagram, you see on wherever, you see on Pinterest and all that, this is exactly the drafting on how to achieve it. So guys, follow my page please and subscribe. If you really enjoyed the video, that means you really enjoyed it. You have come this far. So please don't forget to like, don't forget to follow me, don't forget to share pattern to make a dress. I'll also post it so that you see the beauty and see how the outcome is going to be. So guys, keep watching, keep sharing, and love you guys. So look forward to another of my video. Bye.